In the last 12 months alone, over 20 ships, 5 planes, and more than 50 people have mysteriously vanished in the Bermuda Triangle. And this isn't just some story from the past, it's still happening today. Despite modern technology, this stretch of ocean remains one of the most baffling and dangerous places on Earth. What is it about this eerie region off the coast of Florida that continues to swallow ships, planes, and people? Let's dive deep into the mystery and uncover the terrifying truth that still frightens scientists, sailors, and pilots. The Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, stretches between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, forming a rough triangle over 500,000 square miles of ocean. That's larger than the state of Texas, almost 1.5 times the size of France, and more than twice the size of California. And with all that water, you'd think there'd be more disappearances, but that's not necessarily true. But here's something most people don't know. The US government doesn't officially recognize the Bermuda Triangle as a danger zone. No warning labels. No extra precautions. So why does the legend persist? Let's rewind to 1945. It all began with Flight 19 in 1945. 5 Navy bombers vanished during a routine training mission. A rescue plane sent after them also vanished. No debris, no signals, just silence. The mystery only deepened when a civilian aircraft, a PBM Mariner, sent to search for the missing planes also disappeared without a trace. The crew of the Mariner vanished, leaving behind no sign, no wreckage, nothing. It became one of the most famous Bermuda Triangle incidents, one that has fueled the myth ever since. But Flight 19 wasn't the only strange disappearance. The SS Cotopaxi, a cargo ship, vanished in 1925 while en route to Cuba. It wasn't until 1977 that the ship's distress signal was finally uncovered, but by then, no one was ever able to explain where the ship had gone. Over the years, more than 50 ships and 20 aircraft have been reported missing in the region. In fact, a study conducted in 1977 by the US Navy revealed that more than 1,000 people have mysteriously vanished in the Bermuda Triangle, a statistic that sounds staggering until you compare it to other heavily traveled regions. But here's the twist. Studies show that per mile, the number of incidents in the Bermuda Triangle is actually not unusually high compared to other areas of the ocean. So what gives? The truth might not be as supernatural as some would like to believe. Let's break it down. First, the region is home to the Gulf Stream, one of the fastest ocean currents in the world. Imagine a conveyor belt in the ocean, racing along at speeds of up to 5.6 miles per hour. That's faster than a typical highway truck, making it easy for a ship that breaks down to be carried far off course before anyone even notices it's gone. The Gulf Stream is responsible for transporting warm water from the Gulf of Mexico toward the North Atlantic. As it moves, it can rapidly distort weather patterns and make navigation even more difficult. Second, the underwater terrain is far more complex than many realize. The Bermuda Triangle sits on top of the Puerto Rico Trench, one of the deepest points in the Atlantic Ocean, plunging down nearly 28,000 feet. Deeper than Mount Everest is tall. In comparison, the Grand Canyon is just under 7,000 feet deep. So when a ship sinks here, it's like dropping a coin into the Grand Canyon. You're never going to see it again. These deep trenches and sudden drop-offs make for unpredictable navigation, especially when combined with violent ocean currents. Third, the weather. Hurricanes form and strike here more than almost anywhere else in the world. Between June and November, hurricane season wreaks havoc on the region, and it's during this time that a large number of disappearances occur. But there's more: electronic fog. This phenomenon, reported by several pilots and sailors, refers to sudden interference with navigational instruments, often causing confusion and disorientation. Couple that with magnetic anomalies in the area, and you've got a perfect storm for disasters. Of course, not all explanations are so grounded. Some believe the lost city of Atlantis lies below, hidden beneath the waves and causing mysterious phenomena. Others suggest alien abductions or even portals to another dimension. After all, the idea of time and space being distorted is nothing new in the world of sci-fi. In fact, in the 1970s, this kind of talk exploded, fueled by books like The Bermuda Triangle by Charles Berlitz, which sold millions of copies and popularized the idea of an otherworldly cause behind the disappearances. But let's take a step back for a second. Here's a wild stat. Insurance companies don't charge extra for travel through the Bermuda Triangle. Not even a blip on their radar. That should tell you something about the real risks involved. Now, imagine this. You're driving through the middle of Kansas, and you hear that that area causes more car accidents than anywhere else in the country. You'd probably shrug and keep driving, because Kansas is massive and accidents are just part of the landscape. The Bermuda Triangle is similar, huge, unpredictable, and full of natural phenomena. The same logic applies here. In fact, the Devil's Sea, near Japan, has more disappearances than the Bermuda Triangle, but it doesn't get half the press. Similarly, the waters around the Philippines, particularly in the area known as the Dragon's Triangle, are known for strange disappearances, yet they don't carry the same cultural weight as the Bermuda Triangle. It's easy to sensationalize things when there's a large gap in knowledge or when human lives are at stake. However, what we know is that humans are fallible. Ships get lost, planes malfunction, and bad weather can turn a regular trip into a disaster. The mysteries that surround the Bermuda Triangle are largely the result of natural phenomena combined with human error. So, what secrets lurk in the Bermuda Triangle? The truth might not be as mysterious as the legend, but in a world where we want to believe in the unknown, the Triangle offers the perfect cocktail of science, speculation, and storytelling. And maybe that's what keeps it alive, not what's there, but what might be.